Look, startups don't fail because the founders don't believe, they fail because the money runs out too soon. Period. And here's where venture debt slaps the traditional venture capital game in the face and says, hold on, there's a smarter way to survive. Most founders think debt means shackles, but that's bullshit. Venture debt, when used right, is a lifeline, not a noose. The brutal truth is, equity rounds aren't just expensive, they're distracting and dilutive. You give away chunks of your company just to keep the lights on, and with every round, your control slips a little. Meanwhile, you're expected to sprint faster and hit numbers that might not even make sense yet. Venture debt gives you oxygen without handing over your house keys. It's cash that doesn't eat your ownership alive and lets you buy time to build real value. But here's the thing nobody yells loud enough. Not all venture debt is good debt. You have to be ruthless about the terms. If it's structured like a trap, you're just kicking the can down the road with chains on your ankles. The moment you take venture debt, you're saying, I'm serious about survival and growth, but on my terms. Nail down the covenant terms. Cut the bullshit fees. Know exactly how this snake will squeeze before you breathe it in. This is not a desperate move. It's a calculated strike. If you're a founder, listen. Stop running to VCs every time the bank account hits red. Start thinking like a warrior, balancing power and resources. Venture debt can double your runway without diluting your equity or forcing you into unfair valuations. That alone can be the difference between folding quietly or hitting your next big milestone and walking away richer and stronger. For investors, here's the brutal real. Companies with the right venture debt structure survive longer. That means your equity bets don't evaporate overnight. More runway equals more chances to find product market fit, more chances to make the impossible happen. It's not about stuffing cash into companies blindly, it's about shifting the survival odds so that the companies which deserve to win get the tools to do just that. Don't ignore venture debt. Investors who get this early reap the benefits. Now, this doesn't mean debt is a magic wand. It's a tool for founders who can execute like monsters and investors who want to back winners without constantly bleeding equity. The companies that survive with venture debt aren't just lucky, they have laser focus on metrics, burn, milestones, and growth engines. When runway gets extended by smart debt, founders stop surviving and start thriving, building real, scalable businesses that stand the test of market chaos, not just paper valuations. If the startup grind has burned you out, consider this your wake-up call. Stop seeing every cash crunch as a crisis. Switch your mindset. Use venture debt as strategy, not as a lifeline. Become absolutely brutal with your financial discipline. Tighten up your burn, set aggressive goals, and use that debt to buy the time your business actually needs, not the time investors want you to pretend to need. Every moment spent worrying about dilution, valuation, or begging for another equity round is a moment wasted. Instead, let venture debt buy you the clarity to build, iterate, and dominate the next phase. The companies that master this balance, leverage without losing control, are the ones rewriting what startup survival means. Stop playing by the flawed rules set by the system that treats founders like victims. Use venture debt like a weapon. Own your runway, own your terms, own your future. That's how survival rates shift. That's how startups become unstoppable. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and open the featured link to learn more.